What's up, everybody? It's your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. Listen, oh my God, we got to get into this. There's a guy who got kicked out of his parents' house, and he's 30 years old, and essentially, he didn't want to go. The judge had to make him, they had to bring him to court, they had to evict him. He's been there 8 years. I mean, it's like, it's a saga, and it don't make no sense. Now, but here's my problem. You're going to say, well, Erica, that's mean spirited. How dare you make fun of this young man? You don't know his situation. You don't know what's going on with him. You have no clue what's going on in his life. Yeah. Here's what I know. Parents can create winners and parents can create enablers. Now, here's something I hear often in Black Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. Oh, Black people always trying to kick their kids out at 18. And the thing is, if you created a winner, not at 18, not senior year of high school, I'm talking about 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I mean, you have to be giving instruction to your kids about credit and writing a check and moving and how much it costs to get lights in your name. These are conversations that go on from 15 up. This isn't a conversation you have for 2 weeks before they leave for college. This is an ongoing conversation of building an adult. And now people say, well, Erica, you ain't got no kids. You don't know. I have great parents, and my parents were great at telling us, this is how much this costs, this is how much that costs, this is where you're going. Okay, you're going to college here, you need to be working. And even as I have struggles when I lived in Austin and lived in Raleigh and Charlotte, I still got on my grind. I still worked, I still put in the work. And I think a lot of people, the problem is there is no, you need to be working. There is no, hey, this is what it's going to take to win. This is what it's going to take to do what you have to do. And a lot of times, we want to blame adults and we want to blame other people, but really, honestly, it comes down to the parents. So let me know if you guys can hear me. Let me know if the audio is working right. I want to make sure the audio is working right before I finish. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Let me know if you guys can hear me on here. I don't see my green lights moving. Just want to make sure. I want to make sure our audio is good. Okay, audio's fine. Good. Okay. My green lights are just nutting over here. All right. So here's the point. You create winners long before the winning goes, right? You get wealthy long before the money shows. You get the mindset right way before that. And there's a reason a lot of people are going towards minimalism. But I can tell you personally, I know people who have been at their parents' house, and Andre Hatchett is doing a very good job of talking about Black men staying at their mom's house too long, where you have guys complaining about mom's getting on me about chores, mom's getting on me about this. And what you're doing is you're creating a generation of roommates. Now, what do I mean by that? There's countless stories from church and other places where somebody moved in from their mama house, men and women, to their new house with their spouse. And I can tell you 9 times out of 10, it does not work well because this person does not know what it is to be alone, to live in their own house, to wash their dishes, to kind of keep control of themselves as an adult. It's vital. And the reason I'm like slowly doing a little bit the attack at Hispanic people, when you have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Hispanic people in the house, everybody's working, everybody's hustling because it is a system. It is a respect issue. We're going to work, period. You know what I mean? And at the other days, at the other day, on the other side of that is moving out. A lot of parents I saw when my friends graduated college, they either gave them a car, here's your Jeep Cherokee, here's your this is so cool. Then they move and they go, hey, I need to move to this town of Raleigh. And a lot of those parents gave the $3,000 down payment for those houses to be bought. Because not only did they showed their job offer letter, they had the down payment in hand, moved in, right? Or the parents gave them money to get the first apartment. And a lot of people who are using this excuse like, well, it's so expensive, they should just live at home until they can get right. Old Jimmy, he need to be here. That's some enabling crap. You're not allowing a person to be an adult. So Brandon Nail said, what if you're paying your mom's bills? you're enabling her too. Man, I mean, like on the flip side, it depends. How old is she? Is she handicapped? There's so many factors to that because some people got some old mamas. So I know some people with 72-year-old moms because that mom had them at 40. So, I mean, you got to give some more context to that, Brandon. But what's happening is there's like a generation of people who are not winners. They won't struggle. They won't fight. Something I've seen common on a lot of YouTubers is they move to a new city and it's tough and they're making friends and they're working hard. And people say, well, will you move back to your old town? And 90% of the time they go, I'd rather struggle. I'd rather sleep in my car. I'd rather do whatever it takes to not have to go back to that life. Because once tasted, now you're like, oh, I need that freedom. When you travel, the quietness of a nice hotel, then you go down to a raggedy hotel, you like, oh no, this will not do. Now, how do you create winners? Now, this is all going to go back to some things people have been asking me. Well, Erica, how did you get what you do? This is a book, and many people are going to already, before it gets too close, is Glenn Beck's Broke. Now, people are going to say, well, Erica, Glenn Beck's crazy and go all political, but you're missing the information. This is a book with over 700 footnotes, documented notes. It's still good. It's called Broke. And it's talking about the United States and how essentially the United States is going to come to a point where they're going to, instead of being able to make the decision, they're just going to have to cut certain things. They're going to cut programs. They're going to cut stuff. And people are going to be like, whoa, what's happening? And I read this book many years ago. This is the library edition. Yes, I had to pay the library because I didn't return it. Before you even comment about that. But essentially, it's talking about the priority pyramid. How, like, if we pay elderly, we pay Social Security, we pay elderly, we pay Medicaid, Medicare, that's about all we're going to pay. We're going to start. This book said it, I don't know, is it 7 years now? 8 years? This book said we're going to start letting go some of the national parks. And I thought, that is the silliest thing I've ever heard, Glenn Beck. You're a fool. They're silly. Well, guess what we've been doing the past 3-4 years? Before Obama even got out, letting go of some of the national parks, letting go of some of those national things. The government was shut down 1 year for the park service because we couldn't afford to keep all the park service going. Okay. So now Donald Trump's selling some of the park service to the companies who cut down trees, and people are like, it's an injustice. Well, who's going to buy parks with lots of trees? Loggers. Okay. So I just remember watching this and going, this is crazy. There's no way this book could be true, and it was one of the life-changing books that I've ever read about America and what's kind of happening, what's happening in front of our eyes. And here's another one. 475 deductions for business owners and self-employed. That is a life changer. I mean, I'm not going to go through all of it. But again, you know how you ever heard of courier service? Courier service. Anybody know of courier service? COURIER, where you basically go around fetching things for people. That's a tax write-off. It's a service business. I mean, there's just so much, from boats to bodyguards to billboards. I mean, you name this book, hit that up. Bishop Global. Go get this book. You go read it for yourself. Everybody says stuff is unnecessary, but again, where do we cut? It's a small part of the budget, but here was the point of the book, is what it was saying years ago. What we're going to do is start cutting little things. And this is it just was guessing at the time. We're going to cut little things that people think, oh, well, that's just 1%. PBS is just 1% of the budget. This is just 1% of the budget. What it was doing was preparing you for major cuts. And reason why I point that book out is so many of you are like, why are you investing this hard? Why are you working this hard? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to accomplish? It's because I can see it. I can see what's on the horizon. I can see what's coming. Stuff that I read about 4 or 5 years ago is happening again. And I always want to keep this channel positive and keep you guys focused. But again, there are people who have, when ESPN was laying off 500 people, then another 500 next year, another 500, you saw the rise of all these men having podcasts from their home, from WeWork offices, and making money, because it didn't take the whole ESPN office being this huge ESPN office to do shows. You could do shows in a small smart. You could do podcasts in a small mart. And people don't realize you could have a small audience of 20,000 people, and you'd have more audience than a lot of TV shows and a lot of radio stations. And your 20,000 audience online, you sell a certain number of products and stuff a year, you did it. Or you had sponsors, you did it. It's coming back more privatized. And people don't think like that. They're like, oh, Erica, that's crazy. But if you look, the school system per se, like all the teachers are striking. Every teacher, all the states you look around, teachers are striking. Why is that? It's that inflation is hitting. Inflation is hitting, and they realize my wages. What's going on? Inflation's up here, but my wages are here. And that's why when they say, why don't schools teach math and accounting and investment? They can't. Because if I was a teacher every day teaching math and investment and accounting, I'd be pissed because the math is not there for me to long-term retire. Now, what do I mean long-term retire? There's a lot of teachers and people I get on the phone with, like, yeah, my retirement, I want to have $10,000 a month. Well, how much do you make right now? $3,000 a month. What magical retirement are you talking about? Are you about to go buy a bunch of real estate? Then yeah, you could probably have that. But overall, the math is the math. And it comes down to seeing it and taking action. A lot of times it starts with personal finance. And a lot of times people will say, well, Erica, I quit this job. I didn't need this job. Because what they did is they started shrinking down their bills and realizing, oh, I don't need that. Now, what's a big thing that kind of is an example of that? House hacking. A lot of people talk to me on the phone about house hacking because they'll go buy a house and the mortgage is $1,500. Well, a one bedroom in Houston, Dallas, here in Austin, lots of places is $1,500. But if you got a whole house and you rent the other two rooms out for $500 a pop, now your rent out of your pocket is $500. That's a very popular thing. A lot of minimalists are doing, a lot of young people are doing. But again, it's creating a generation of roommates, right? So you got to find ways to make the personal finance win. So that's number one. Number two, keep it simple. A lot of people make fun of Dave Ramsey saying, oh, it's boring. It's simple. It's so simple. It's so stupid. Baby steps, debt smallest to largest, because simple works. You ever heard saying, keep it simple, stupid? It works, Number three, spend less money. People don't want to hear that. If I ask people on phone calls and different times, hey, what's in your bank accounts right now? What do you spend on an average daily? Some people don't know. And it's not always the big eating out. It's not the big, Netflix movies or Redbox. Sometimes it's just small things. It's the extra drink on the meal. It's the extra stuff at the gas station. It's the extra stuff here and there, extra stuff you picked up at the grocery store. Little things add up to big things. Number four, minimalism. You can go read minimalism all you want, but in a nutshell, I've seen videos where girls have 300 shoes. And I'm like, and 100 purses. And I'm like, what? I've seen house boarding shows where the mom, they're living in poverty in Birmingham, Alabama, but the mom's got 100 purses. And the ladies are telling her, some of these are knockoffs, ma'am. You can get rid of these. They're not knockoffs. I bought them from over here at the freaking flea market. And you're like, yeah, they're a knockoff. What happened is minimalism is just kind of getting a reasonable boundary there, right? It's not, I don't want you to have a sparse apartment. I don't want you to have a sparse house. I want you to have less is more, right? Sometimes I'll go in someone's house and they've got every wall covered like a Pinterest movie. And I'm like about to be sick and nauseous because it's just too much. It's just too much. So you can keep it simple. You don't have to go over the top. Number five, make more money. I talk about this every channel and I know every video. I'm like, make more money. Every video, I'm like, please make more money, because 90% of the time when people say, hey, I want to invest in real estate, or hey, I want to get this debt paid down, there's like this small $500 window. I don't know what it is about the number 500, but if you go look at the article where it talked about foreclosures, the average foreclosed person, they were short $500. That's what got them in the hole. The car payment's only $300. The car payment's only $400, but you're not taking in the whole expense. Even if the car's $400, okay, what's the insurance? A lot of people paying $200 a month for insurance. I've seen it. A lot of people paying for gas, tax, title, parking tickets, you name it. That's the real expense a month. And so people get stuck on these cars. I can tell y'all without a shadow of doubt, as long as I've been doing credit repair just to help people with businesses, the number one thing taking people out is cars. They will not pay student loans. They will not pay collections. They will not pay anything, but they'll have a car on there, a $50,000 car that they're paying and keeping it up. They're never late on the car bill. And that is priorities. That's a mindset. So let's say you say, Erica, I don't care what you say. I want my car. I keep my car. I keep my truck. Okay, cool. Go make more money then. Go use that car or use that money to make more money. I've seen people in pickup trucks delivering pizzas. The gas mileage is probably killing them alone, but at least they're attempting to try. Number 6, be patient. Some of you have not paid on your bills in 7 years, and you're waiting for that 7-year mark so everything fall off your credit. Okay, well, even if everything falls off your credit, doesn't mean you're going to get $800 credit score next week. That's just not how it happens. Now, Bishop, you can, the thing about Texas and many southern places, the transit is not, but you don't need a new car. You need a $4,000 Honda Accord. You need a $5,000 car. You need a $5,000 Ford Focus, where your payment's going to be 180, maybe 200 max. What I see people doing is getting the Camaros, getting the, God, I don't even know what that other name is, the Dodge Chargers, getting Mercedes Benz. Well, I got to spend 30 anyway, Erica, to get a reasonable car. No, you do not have to spend 30 to get a reasonable car. Stop it. And so there's some places where the transit is great. You don't need a car. Other places, not so much. That's a cost of living, but doesn't mean you go get the most max of your budget. I've heard a radio station say, if you make $300 a week, we can get you in a brand new car. And I almost threw up because $300 a week is $1,200. So does that mean $300 after taxes or $300 before taxes? That's crazy. They don't need a new car. They need one of your beaters off the lot that's 4 or 5 years old that still drives great. That's what they need. And there's a young man here in Austin. He's a really great guy. He had some issues and he got a brand new car. But guess what? He drove about $6,000 worth of DoorDash and Uber last month. So, I don't get on him about his car because what he's trying to do, he needs the car. But many of you think you're too good to do Uber. You're too good to do DoorDash. You're too good to do this. But your bank account doesn't represent you being too good. I'm sorry. That's just the facts. These are the results. Your bank account's the result. Your investment are the results. Where you're living is a result. What you're doing is a result. It's a result of something you did over here. Now, many people, what happened 5 to 10 years ago is what you're seeing now, right? You ever seen that guy or girl who was living large, right out of college, traveling all the time? Now they're talking about credit card debt on their Facebook posts. They're talking about student loan debt on their Facebook posts. You're like, girl, we got out of college 10 years ago. That should be paid off. And many people say, well, Erica, you don't understand. If you have $20,000 in student loan debt and you didn't consolidate and you didn't move it over to some private company, that's $2,000 a year for 10 years. $2,000 a year is about $150 at max payment a month. And somebody wrote me an ugly email saying, I don't have $150. It seems like you have time to be posting on your Facebook, because I went and searched. Posting on your Facebook about shows, nonstop about TV shows. Take 2 or 3 hours to go get you that $150. Take your Saturday that you need off to recover from your job you hate and go make that money. That's a simple. Make more money. Number 6, be patient. Number 7, keep reading. A lot of times people ask me, what are you reading? What are you reading, Erica? What are you reading? It doesn't matter if you read every single book that I read. It doesn't matter. It's about the action. That's what I do. Even if I get a book, I read it, I immediately go take action. Because what I want to do is I want to see if what I'm reading actually works. O'Shea Jackson gave us that $50 Polish money. So, if nobody else does anything, O'Shea Jackson sponsored the show tonight. Thank you, O'Shea Jackson. Vlogcast. That guy's hilarious at night. I usually watch him when I'm finishing out my last night emails. But essentially, how do you create winners? You create winners by talking to your children way before 18. You talk to your children way before 30. If you see the article about what these parents did, these parents tried everything. They told him there's jobs out there. Look at the guy. I mean, look at my thumbnail. The guy has a beard, patchy. He's got long hair to his butt. I mean, there is probably some issues here with homeboy. We don't know. Maybe some anxiety. We don't know that part of the story. But at the end of the day, like, I mean, if you read his mom's stuff, there are jobs out there. There are jobs. He can get any job. And what I'm meeting is people saying, well, I'm 30 years old, Erica. I'm not going to drive for Uber. I'm 30 years old. I'm not going to work fast food. I'm not going to deliver pizzas. I'm too good for that. You're not. Your bank account's not. Now, on one hand, I will say sometimes working in fast food, you're dealing with attitudes, bad attitudes, people who don't care. That I understand. If you told me, Erica, I don't like the people around me or the attitudes at work, then I would be on your side. But when you come with me with I'm too good for that. Is it? Are you? Are you too good? Does your bank account say you're too good? Even Grant Cardone just now started going on vacations. The guy's like 57. His wife's like 10 years or 12 years younger than him, and he's got little kids. But that just shows you, what is his definition of vacation? If his definition of vacation is like way up here, then, he's not going to settle for a poopy vacation. Does that make sense? So I just wanted to point that out. But again, name some of the cities you guys are in, because I just want to point out the fact that some of you guys live in expensive cities. Some of you don't. I've got a lot of East Coasters that follow the channel during the earlier hours. I know it's later at night, so we might just have West Coast people. I know O'Shea's in the middle of who knows where. He might be in Brazil. He might be in Poland. We don't know. He's out. He's a world traveler. He's James Bond. So let me see here what we got in his comments. Thank y'all for telling me the audio is good. Brandon L, where's the comment? I'm waiting for you to tell me how old your mom is. But that's very nice of you if you're paying your mom's bills. Cam, the little things add up. Dave Ramsey before Robert Kiyosaki. I love saying that because a lot of you, if you go look at Dave Ramsey channel just for a week and just go review some of the most hot topics, 90% of the combinations are a husband and wife. One's a spinner, one's a saver. Or they got a debt. Like I remember there was one man, he was like taking care of his mom, taking care of his sister. And then his wife had 3 little kids that were under the age of 5. And he's like, she need to go to work. Dave Ramsey's like, you bum. You need to stop paying for your mom, your sister, and your uncle a place to stay. You have a wife with 3 little babies that aren't in school. By the time she goes to work anywhere, daycare costs, it will eat up your money. So sometimes he gives people the basic kick in the butt. But essentially, the average person, if you watch that show, just even if you don't like Dave Ramsey, the way he talks, go watch his Debt-Free Fridays or whatever, where people come and scream. The average person paid it off in 15 months. Why? Because we don't like kicking back money. We don't like reserving. We like splurging, right? There's something about reserving money and staying home and cooking every night. It's like, oh, this sucks, right? So if you look at the average person on his show, it took 15 months to 24 months max. I don't care. You name it. If it was 100,000, 200,000 in debt, they found a way. I looked at this other guy's channel. He's paid off $97,000 in student loan debt in 4 years. And he bought a brand new car. First thing he realizes, I done messed up. I'm going to keep this car though. And I'm going to live real, real frugal. So he lived in a house with a bunch of people. But that's one thing. Like many of you know, I moved. But where I was at before, we had one girl in the house making $150,000 a year. We had another girl in the house making $130,000 a year. And me making one blank, 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 you don't need to know a year, right? And people were like, why are y'all living together? Y'all all could buy big ass houses. What are y'all doing? And we're like, duh, we're all traveling. We're all busy. What do we all need big old houses for? Plus one of us is getting married and this is happening. And everybody would be like, but that's crazy. But y'all all make a lot of money. Y'all make more money than some couples. And we'd be like, one's an engineer, one was a financial analyst. I mean, when you talk to people about that, they just look at it as like it's crazy. But that's the problem. People are living, they're getting that lifestyle creep. They're living so high. There's a guy in our neighborhood over here where I'm at now. He has a $70,000 truck. Now, you know your girl Erica was nosy, okay? We was nosy, all right? And what we did is we did our lap around the neighborhood. It was like, hey, that's a nice truck. Isn't that about 70,000? Yeah, it's about 70,000. But I do Amazon FBA. And I laughed. I go, oh, really? Amazon FBA. So from your apartment? No. I got a warehouse down the street. Your girl got to check the warehouse out. I wish she'd let me take a photo, but I don't think he's going to let me do that next time I visit. But anyway, the point of the story is he had a little spot, and it has a garage door pull up and a little bit of office. But he had a lot of packages in there. So the key here is you got to make more money, but you got to track your money. If the only thing that guy has is that ridiculous Ford truck with the giant Ford on the grill, it's the $70,000 truck. If you guys know what I'm talking about, put it in the comments. Then, cool. That's his one thing, right? So there's like 50 of you in here. Definitely hit that like button. I'd love to see the like button go up. It lets me know you guys are in here. So Cam, good luck on getting those tax liens. Kenzie Roberts, what's up? We got a big, long. Let me see. Cam, there is now Amazon Flex delivering packages with your car. Too bad I'm in NYC without a car. Sometimes that happens. Now, Amazon Flex really came to town here in Austin, and you'd be nervous because you see a white van. You're like, what is that? Is that a raper van? What's going on in that van? And it would actually have a little sticker on the back saying Amazon Flex. Hello, Philip Johnson. Mike B 28. People taking out 7-year loans. Big mistake. Yes, I'm starting to see that. Here's something funny, and I'll tell you guys about it. There's a credit group on Facebook. You guys probably know it. I know the behind the scenes information on the two people. I'm going to be careful. But essentially, it's got freaking 600,000 people at the time. Now it's close to like 1 million or 1,045,000. And I was like, 60% of the people, 600,000 people. Let me just do the math. I'm going to do the math for y'all so y'all can see what I'm talking about. 600,000 people in this credit repair group. Most people in there just trying to get their credit straight so they can get a new car. I kid you not. It's sad, but it is what it is. So the two owners of that Facebook group, which that's why I don't play the Facebook group thing, because people can cut you off and say they don't know what you're talking about. 600,000 people in that group. Now, 20% of any group of people are not going to do their own work. So 20% of that group would be 120,000 people. Let's even cut that in half. Let's go 10%. Let's make it low. 60,000 people in that group. Now, out of that 60,000 people in that group, if those two people actually work together and charge $300 for credit repair, they could have made $18 million. Now, let's cut it even lower. Let's say, Erica, 30,000 of the people wouldn't do it themselves. Times 300. That's $9 million. Let's say even lower. Let's say it's 10,000 people in there won't do the work themselves. Now, this is when it was little. It's like 2 million people now. 10,000 people times $300. That's $3 million. But these two fools were arguing so much. One kicked the Facebook group, and he had to start his own Facebook group. Now, I would have took her to court. Let me look you in the eyes. I would have took her to court about that Facebook group because of the lack of money. But here's my point. If you have a service, if you're willing to serve people, you can help them. But people are taking out 7-year car loans. It's real. They are really doing it. They really can't afford crazy payments, but they're doing it. People come to me all the time with $800 Jeep Cherokee payments. And I'm like, who needs a Jeep Cherokee that bad? But again, it is what it is. Mike 28, best advice I ever got was pay my credit card balance off every month. Again, O'Shea Vlogcast channel. Polish money. Thank you for the Polish money. He is the sponsor of the show, unless somebody else beats that, which I don't even know what the conversion is. Cam, that's right. Ace One, real talk for real world. Create your own reality. Listen, you guys, it is vital to create your own reality. Part of what I was going to say is those are the 7 rules for getting your money right. But at the end of the day, how do you create winners in your children, in your house? It's who you surround yourself with. Every time I start talking about certain topics, I know people will be like, I'm not being her friend no more. She's talking crazy. But what I do is I start writing down people off YouTube I want to meet and talk to. The whole time I was in Detroit, everybody I talked to was a heavy hitter. There was a guy selling 100 homes last year. His team sold 100 homes last year in Detroit. Now you thinking Detroit got problems. He sold 100 homes in Detroit last year. Talked to a lady in there. You can get a real estate loan just showing the last 12 months of your business deposits. That's why when I'm in here talking to y'all about business bank accounts and put your money in there, y'all like, oh, here she go again talking about bank deposits. And it's vital. Like as soon as she told me that, I was like, yes, Bank of England is a winner. Show your last 12 months of your business bank deposits and you can get a real estate loan. That's the power of business credit. That's not just business credit. That's actually having money go in that business bank account. So create your reality. I mean, just everybody I ran into, they love Detroit. Like what you saw on the news was the poor people. I know that sounds horrible, but it was poor people. Like other people were living in Dearborn. They're living in other parts. They retired. They live well off their money. They're like, what are you talking about? Little Miss, I just followed O'Shea. Yeah, O'Shea cracked me up. Little Miss, Los Angeles. Erica Jackson, Columbus, Ohio. I think we're going to Cincinnati. Let me think which one it is. We're either going to Cincinnati or Columbus. We're going to one of them, but it's an area we're supposed to invest in. Somebody's in Texas, Apple Mac. Yeah. Cam B, California. 3 Pistons, Minnesota. Oh my gosh. I went to Wisconsin once and I was talking to a lot of people from Minnesota. Sarita Gonzalez, my wife makes $450. Oh, wait, the thing moved. Dang it. Okay, my wife made $450 this month, Uber shift. Thank you. Boom, 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 boom. Making money. That's what I'm talking about. Cliff Peters, California. California knows how to party. Somebody did $5. Thank you for the super chat. Let's see. Danish McGruver. I'm an English teacher in China, lived in Minneapolis prior to this. The power of the internet, the power of travel, the power of creating your reality. She's in China. I'm about to write this down and don't make me come to China. All right. Ace 1. Dave Ramsey show you real situations so you don't have to go through it. Yes. Get that wisdom. There's a thing talking about experience and wisdom. There are some people who have to go through it. They have to see it themselves. I've been a little bit like that. I had to correct myself. It's like the kid touching the stove. Like, I got to touch the stove to see if it's hot. Okay, it's hot. That's okay. Learned. Some people can watch other people and go, nah, I'm good. I'm good there. I'm good. And I'm starting to be more on that side where I'm just like, okay, I see what happens when some people are 40 and 45 and like 10 years down the road. I can look 10 years down the road at other people and go, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be her. Oh, I don't want to be him. You know what I mean? If you don't put any focus on this, you'll wake up and you'll be 40 at a job you don't like, stressing over bills with no way out. I have a lot of engineer friends who take mad vacations whenever because they paid all the debt off. So let's see here. Oh, sure, McGregor. Apple Mac Raptor. There it is. That's the word. Ford Raptor. So then beside him, I'm this nosy. I actually walked down there. Beside him is a black guy, young black guy with hold on, we gotta hide. We gotta hide this user from the channel. We got a weirdo. Okay, we got him out of here. I might have to create one of y'all to be I might have to make one of y'all a moderator because we got a crazy guy that keeps coming in here every night. Kim, you want to be a moderator? Let's make you a moderator. Anybody else want to be a moderator? Let me know because we got a few trolls that's been coming out lately. All right, let's go back up here. Yes, Ford Raptor. What I was gonna say is beside the Ford Raptor, is a black kid with a, kid you not, little Nissan Versa, and he's got a Mercedes Benz beside it, the big bot with the big emblem on front. And I was like, come on, dude. Dude makes music over here, but in the meantime drives for Uber and Lyft. So again, you can win, you decide. Now that's the only time I'm like, 2 cars? What you doing? Then he told me what he was doing. I was like, hats off to you. I like living around good people, and I'm nosy like that. Bishop said, I wish I could get a six-figure job. You know what's surprisingly about six-figure jobs? There's many recruiters who can get you into those spots. But a lot of jobs, 89% of jobs are done through referral and in-house hiring. Bishop, you can get a six-figure job. Explore some certifications. Exactly. Create your reality. This is water. It's carbonated water. Y'all know. Y'all keep me accounted. I went to my personal trainer today. I was crying. Hold on, let's get our focus back. All right. Hit the like button, y'all. Hit that like button. Ben the bartender. Yes, hit the like button, y'all. Kipoki, Erica, what's your gun Instagram channel? Hold on, let me see. I haven't finished posting this week. I'm gonna go shooting. I'm flying some family into town because your girl got it like that. I was looking for O'Shea to do an interview. Where you at, O'Shea? Where the interview at? If you look up Glory Survival, you'll see me on there. That's my Glory Survival. Pew 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 pew. Can y'all see that? Pew 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 pew. Fieldcraft Survival. All right, let's see. Cam here in NYC, public transit pay a lot of blue collar and white collar workers six figures. It's boring work, but it pays for your next house. Okay, there's a lot of pension people getting caught. There's this guy in California. He's getting like $76,000 a month in a pension check, and they're like, "Do you think that sounds right, sir?" He's like, "I don't know. They just been sending me the check, and I've been cashing it." I'm like, "Come on, man, you knew that didn't sound right." Army. There's a lot of people in the Army right now. Six-figure retirement, getting checks. The government never thought they was going to do that. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Righteous Media, I'm going to make one or two of y'all moderators, and y'all just y'all keep reporting and keep deleting it, yo. Ben the bartender, yeah, 100 houses a year. And anybody in Detroit ain't living like Eminem. Yeah. Everybody ain't living like Eminem. Scorpio way of life. Apple Mac. I super chatted O'Shea last night, so it's your turn now, Erica. LOL. Dude, I super chatted $25 to O'Shea the other night. What you talking about? You better go check that video. Thank you, Cam. Ben the bartender. Thank you, Ben the bartender. I will make you a mod. This is crazy to me. I mean, like, who got time to be on somebody's channel tripping? Apple Mac is good for a mod. Let me see. Let me find Apple Mac here on this thing. It's so crazy to me. People would spend their night like that, though. You know what I mean? To me, that's a waste of the night. All right. Ben the bartender and Apple Mac, you are now moderators. And Cam. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate that. Apple Mac, I pay cash when I buy cars. I don't believe in car notes. If I can't pay cash, I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Many people in the oil field out here doing six figures and still broke. Apple Mac. Listen, I'll tell you about my friend. He married this girl. And there's nothing wrong with the girl. It's his ex-girlfriend. She a nice girl. But her parents were tripping, and we're like, she ain't no beauty queen, so they should be happy. You even looking at her. We didn't say it like that. I mean, he was just a little bit older, so I understand her father. Like, he 31, she 20. Now later, when he was 33 and she was 21, 22-ish, okay, it was a little bit better. But that was an age difference. And so anyway, he went out and worked the oil fields 2 years in a row, made $90,000. He had an affinity. He's putting money into strippers. He's sending money home to Alabama. And the crazy part in the end, like, he came back and asked her family again, can I marry her? And they were like, yeah, sure. It was weird. But I think part of it too was he was 30 and white and she was like black and 22. So I think, her dad was like, man, get your ass out of here. Ever Samora, hi. SB, NYC in the building. Y'all up late. What's up? Ben the bartender, thank you. Again, thank you for your service, moderating. The crazies come out at night. They come out in the day too. I mean, we had one guy going like 20 videos deep, putting the N-word out. It was crazy. Well, Ben the bartender, the thing is, the girl wasn't that much of a looker, but she came from a family of accountants. You know what I'm saying? Like they know money. And he was joking. He was like, I'm glad I married her. She saved all our money now. And I mean, I'm not, I'm sorry, it's funny, but it's like, bro, you don't know how to save your own money. So let's see. Love, great topic, Erica. Thank you. I appreciate it. Samara, I think that's your name. This is so little, this writing. Are you in Austin? I was thinking about moving there for experience, but I want to move with stable money. I need to watch more of your videos. Hey, listen, I've met people at many happy hours who moved here without a job, but they were engineers and software tech people. So my recommend to you is go get a recruiter. And what's funny is a lot of recruiters have stopped pulling people from out of state in Austin because they don't want to pay the recruiter fee. Well, they don't want to pay the relocation fee, right? So Dell used to pay people $8,000 to move. Right? $8,000 ought to take care of you getting your house, getting the moving van, all that good stuff, and put a little more money in your pocket. And they don't want to pay it anymore. And another thing, if you guys watched my video last night, my friends that work at Dell, they are now getting Monday and Fridays off in certain departments because Dell is like, hey, we appreciate your work-life balance and all the requests. We can't make everybody work from home, so here's Monday, Friday. And you know what that means? To me, that means recession issues, saving people on gas. Texas gas is about to be $3. Grab this book, Glenn Beck Broke. You'll thank me later. Don't get it from the library, dude. This book is only $40. I borrowed it from the library, didn't return it, had to pay $70. Freaking library. Call it stupid taxes, Dave Ramsey says. But I was like, if I'm gonna pay $70 for this book, I'm keeping this book. And the lady laughed and said, okay. I was like, I ain't paying late fees and giving y'all the book back. You better get out of here. What? Okay, G. Smith said he heard my podcast with Juan Pablo for the first time last week and listened to it 5 times. Dude, how old is that podcast? Let me think. Juan Pablo, I think that's been a minute. Juan Pablo is one of the first people that came on the Slow and Low series shows. He was good people. Let me see if it's out here. Oh, dude, there it is. I found it in my clickies. Hold on. Let me see if I can copy it. I got stuff falling off my desk up in here. Sorry, you guys. Hold on. Let me see what year it is. Gosh, what year is this? Oh, man, I can't get to it. Hold on. Let me see if I can get to it. Oh, man, I can't get to it. So if you found it, put it in the link. Somebody put it in the link. If you found the Erica Williams Juan Pablo podcast, that's a couple years ago. Put that in the link. G. Smith. Apple Mac. There's only one strip club out here, and all the young oil field guys keep that club packed every night. For real, yo, it's crazy. I'm like, some of them girls don't be that hot, yo. They be like spotty. Look like they can do some meth, yo. What's going on with that? That's crazy. Ben the bartender, she got more skills. She got some skills with a checkbook that's worth more than gold. It really is. I mean, at the end of the day, he was actually just very happy with her. He came from a dysfunctional family in Alabama. And so, he did the military thing, in a military town. Listen, my family was very protective. When I was young, they were like, don't date none of the military guys. They ain't no good. And that wasn't nice, but it was to kind of weed off some of the dangerous, do you know what I'm saying? Some of the dangerous dudes who are just lurking in your town looking for somebody like, yeah, on the hunt. It's like, hey, get out of here with that. So, yes, Juan Pablo in the ATL. Yeah, Apple Mac. I actually have an interview with Juan Pablo here on my channel. If we hit the link, it'll be up there. It's not a beer can. It is a carbonated water. My personal trainer knows I need the carbonated water to stop drinking sweet tea. But yeah, if you saw my Instagram video earlier, I was like recording a video of somebody hitting the ropes. And then I was like, nah, it's not my person. It's not me. It's my personal trainer. But yeah, so that's basically it for tonight. I really wasn't going to keep you out here too long. I just really want y'all to understand that, like, who you have in your environment and your circles is important. Like I love watching O'Shea and laughing because O'Shea be talking about if every day you wake up and everybody ain't nothing, if all women are bad and everything is racism and everything is bad, like there's no reality there for you to find a good woman. There's no reality there for you to find good people. There's no reality there for you to go out and do more. And so I don't want you to be in denial. I don't want you to be in la la land, but I want you to say positive things. Because I really wrote down on a piece of paper in my notebook one month, I want to meet a tall, nerdy, no, wasn't even tall because I'm more about muscles than tall. I wrote down nerdy black tech guy. I want to meet a nerdy black tech guy this week. Like I wrote it in my journal like twice. That week, I don't know what it was, but like the focus was on it. Everywhere I turned, there was a nerdy black tech guy everywhere you turned. And it's about the power of focus. It's just like when you get a new car, all of a sudden you see everybody has that car. And that's why I tell people if you want to rent a car for a weekend or use the Torino app, TURO.com, it'll quell some of that, right? Because I used to want these little tiny car. God, what is it? It's an Italian car. I used to want it so bad, and I started renting it, and I drive it around all fast, and I was like, okay, like I'm over that. Now I want a car where I can put stuff in the back seat. It's one of those things. You have to kind of create your reality and get your income in check to follow it. My IG handle, which IG handle for my Erica's Classy Climb? Fiat. Yes, it was a Fiat. I had a weird Fiat phase. Hold on a second. I'm gonna hit you with the link tree. You hit this link, you can get all my links. You can hit everything. And it's on Instagram. Hold on. Excuse me. That's horrible. Boom. There you go. Oh, what? Why is it tripping? It's not letting me do it. It's not letting me do it. Hold on. Nope, it's blocking it. How dare it? I'll just put Erica's Classy Climb. That's my Instagram handle. How dare it? Yeah, the Fiat. And what's funny now when I see men in Fiats, I'm like, that used to be sexy, not so much anymore. Love. Positive people are at the top of the pyramid. One is because they can envision themselves there. Yes. 90% of the time when I worked in food service, I would say the happiest people had the best days. And what do I mean by that? People who had other stuff going on in their day, other stuff in their mindset, they were fine. When you start getting this entitled, like, I don't want to be here, I'm better than this job, I'm not going to do this, that's a horrible way to go to work, right? And when you start feeling that, you need to exit that job. You need to exit stage right. You need to go find some work that is fulfilling to you. And I see a lot of people started Uber and Lyft because they just didn't want to be in an office anymore. So it's like, if you got to use it to transition, but everything is possible. You just have to put the math in front of you. There's a guy, he's 27 years old. He's not working any jobs. He has 4 rental properties. He lives in one of the houses and rents out 1 or 2 of the rooms. And he has the other 3 houses he bought. So a lot of people are like, that's crazy. He doesn't work and he has these mortgages. No, it's called about budgeting. It's called watching your money. It's called when the rent comes in from the tenants, make sure you cover the mortgage, So there's a million ways to win out here and live. It just depends on where you at. And just because you're in $100,000 student loan debt or credit card debt or $200,000 student loan debt, credit card debt, does not mean you cannot win. It might take a year. It might take 2. You really got to figure out how fast you want to get there, right? That's really the key. Let me see what we got here. Been the bartender, like them and the Mini Coopers. Yeah. But I assume the fun of them wears off for a while. It did. It was like, oh, this is so cool. And I drove to Houston and I'm like zooming through traffic and there's like a speed button in it too. It's like, and it was nice. But after a while, I was like, I can't carry anything from Lowe's. Like I had to put these plants in the truck. It's on my Instagram. I took a picture of it, putting all these plants in the truck. I was like, this is stupid. Been the bartender, right? Hospitality folks be thinking they're better than the job. Okay, then leave. Yes. See, that's the thing. And this guy put on his post on Facebook, He put on his Facebook that people go to college and they think they're smarter than everybody and blah, blah, blah. And I said, it said, that's part of your emotions. You need to kind of have control of your emotions there, what you're assuming people are thinking of you. But also, if you think about it, when it comes to college, just being this one thing in particular, the average person after they leave high school don't read another book. So if a person went to college, I'm just giving you an example, they've read at least 5 or skimmed the books, right? And so if they're coming off with an attitude, some of it is well deserved. A lot of people, it's the knowledge thing. You ever get in a conversation with people and you're talking to them and they're acting like you acting too good. You talking too high, relax, chill out. I've been in those conversations because I can understand where people are like, well, talk about what common people want to talk about, Erica. I've been on dates where dude was like, yeah, I see what you and them smart girls. And I'm like, see, this date ain't gonna go well, right? Already right now, it's not gonna go good for you. I don't know what you're doing. But what happens is you gotta put yourself around people that are like-minded. Don't be falsely thinking you're smart. Actually have some results. So now if this guy said in his comment, these college people with no results be thinking they're smarter than others, then I would have been like, oh, right, got you. But if somebody's a doctor on Instagram and you thinking because they went to college, they think they smart. No, boo, they are a doctor. Yes, they have results. So it's like, it's one of those funny things where you're like, come on, people. Okay. Yes, he said it's episode 5 of 100% Finance podcast. It is. It's episode 5, y'all. Let me see if I can find it to put it in there. It probably won't let me put it in there. Let me see if it'll let me put it in there. Ooh, you can even get it off Apple and iTunes. Look at him. Good job. Let me see. That's cool. Let's see if it'll put it in here. I bet it won't let me share it. It let me share it. Okay, that's his podcast list. And you can get it from there. G Smith, I don't have a podcast name. Okay, let me see what some of these comments are. Mm-hmm. Suburban said, what are the pros and cons of Texas in your experience? This goes along with the talk on mindset. Any place has opportunity. I think what the thing is about moving is it opens you up each time for different things. And it depends on who you are. Like, if you're an introvert, God bless you. But if you're an extrovert, I think anybody who moves somewhere for 2 years, you're going to have to put in the work. And now what do I mean put in the work? I moved here, and for the first 2 years, I went out 5 days a week on meetup groups, meeting people. I joined a church. I joined a singles group. In the summer, they did two-stepping every Friday, country music. And Saturday, they tube down the river. Sunday, they go do something else, right? Wednesday, they have Blues on the Green where y'all sat out on the grass and listened to music. I mean, you just always had something. You know what I'm saying? And that was for like 6 months straight. And then I got worn out on that and did some other stuff. But at the end of the day, like when people move to new cities, and when I worked in apartment complexes, people would be like, yeah, I'm moving home. And first thing I would say is like, did you join any groups? Did you join any meetup groups? Did you do this, that? No. Okay, well, I don't feel bad for you because you didn't really put in the effort of moving to a new town and what that new town requires. But overall, it's been great. There's a lot of jobs everywhere. It's all about mindset. Been the bartender, LO speed button. I never get tired of good gas mileage. When these gas prices start going back up, all these men with these trucks, they're going to park them and drive their wife's Subarus and minivans and Hondas, old little Hondas. I see it every time. Yes, you can. There's a lot of no money down programs in Texas, but you're going to be out in the suburbs. Like, I know people who lived in Austin, grew up in Austin. I was talking to them in a video. I was doing a video showing about Pflugerville and Georgetown and all this stuff, how it's like Round Rock's like the third fastest growing place in the nation. And people were like, when I was growing up as a kid, Round Rock was a dirt patch far away. Now it's a part of Austin. I mean, it is true. Oh, dude. Okay. Apple Mac. I remember back in the day, I was talking to this older guy. And when I told him I was in college, you could see the hate in his eyes. He hated the fact I was in college. Can you believe that? I can. I can totally believe it. Because there is something about regret. There's something about people you think you better than me. Now, there's a time now I have met older people who back in the day, if somebody went to college, it was like the top 20%. It was like yuppies went to college. You got a job. Now, if you told them on top of that, Appleback, you said, I'm an engineer, they'd have been like, I hate you. It was. I remember when I first told somebody I was an entrepreneur when I came from college. And this black man was like, so what you saying? What kind of entrepreneur? You ain't got no job? And I was like, Nick, bro, I'm about to tell you about yourself, but I'm going to be good because my aunt's watching me right now. It's them kind of people. Meetup.com or meetup.org, whatever. That's a good one. Been the bartender. A lot of that college hate is personal fear. That's a good part. That's a good part. The funny thing, G. Smith, I want to do a podcast, but then I was like, you know what? I'm going to hone down on what I do well, and that's YouTube. And that's just what it is. Smart cars, ever some more. Glacier. Hashtag Coach Keith Rad. G. Smith, I love my Honda Accord. Underrated car. Literally will pay for itself. Hurricane, what can I do to ball out of control? Just ball out of control. Get a bunch of credit cards, ball out of control. Who is this Keith Coach? Who is Keith Bridgeworth? Who is this? Somebody said he recommended me. Who is this? Let me go Google. Y'all telling me about somebody I don't know. Keith Coach. Who is this? Who is this man? Let me see. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Y'all send me that link where Keith Coach recommended me. Because I see his videos, but I don't know who that is. Travis Slasher. I mean, clearly Keith Coach said some stuff tonight. Okay. Hey, Erica sent over my subs. Thank you, Keith. Coach Keith. I'm like, who's this? What's going on? Okay. Oh, yeah. Apple Mac. I always got to be careful. I always go, I'm a business owner, or I'm a small business owner, or I have a service business, or I'm an author, or I do this. You have to break it down for people to kind of have a camaraderie so they can talk with you, right? I was on a plane once, and this is the funny thing. I was like, I own a painting company. And the guy was like, oh, I owned a painting company when I was in college. I painted houses here and there. I said, oh, I have 7 employees. And he was like, oh, well, how? Blah, blah, blah. He spent the next 30 minutes on the plane grilling me down about questions on how to own a painting company. And then he was like, well, I've got 4 kids and I couldn't start over if I wanted to. But it wasn't. For a minute, he thought we were on the same level. So he was like, yeah, whatever, girl. I did that in college. And I was like, no, I have 7 employees. I don't paint. I pick up the phone. I find subcontractors. That's kind of what I do. So it's one of those things. Shout out to Keechka. Let's see. Ryan Husson. What's up, Team America? Apple Mac. They always, yeah, okay. It's all that. Felix M. Tim Fraser. Okay, what's up, Tim? Yeah. Kimbetta, that's just you're just gonna have to get a consult. That's not even a video. That's a straight up consult for government contracts. Let's see what else. Rain and Boots says she's trying to leave Fargo, North Dakota. I'm sorry. Where do you want to go? G. Smith said he's got a 2002 V6 Red Lighter Champ. Yeah. Thank you, all the people, Team America. I appreciate that. Hey, if you're Team America, definitely hit those likes. It's like 65 of you in here right now. Hit those likes. Thank you, Felix M. Okay, his last video. Okay, I'll definitely check him out. I will go see what that last video was. But yeah, so How do you create winners? How do you create growth for yourself? We're going to wrap it up here. I don't want to, it's right at the hour mark. You create winners and you create growth for yourself by getting the knowledge and taking action. We talked about the 7 steps on personal finance. Again, personal finance, track, measure where you're at. Simple, keep it simple. What's your plan? Number 3, spend less. Number 4, minimalism, check into it, but don't go overboard. Number 5, make more money. Number 5 is always important. Make more money. Number 6 is be patient. Number 7 is keep reading. Shout out to O'Shea Blogcast for the $50 Polish money super chat. Shout out to Apple Mac for the $5 super chat. And thank you, Keith, Coach Keith Bridgeforth. I'm going to go check him out. Sending all these people. I appreciate that. Let me see what that's about. Thank you guys for coming in here. I appreciate it. Let me see what else we got going on. But yeah, all right, you guys, gotta roll. It's late. I try to not keep these at an hour max. It is late. Some of you East Coasters are already in bed. Some of you West Coasters, you probably need to go to bed soon. So Digital B Media by Erica. Digital B Media, we can make you a moderator next time. Rain and Boots. Go check out Hood Estates on Instagram. Rain and Boots. Go check out Hood Estates on Instagram and you can see what they're doing. But their mastermind they have right now is closed. They're going to sell the replays in August. So everybody, this is Erica, Classy Climb Blog. We will have more from Detroit, my trip to Detroit. I'm going to put up a few videos of some of the houses we saw, the good and the bad and the ugly. We're trying to get somebody to edit that for me. Also, we're going to talk with James Anderson about Detroit. We're also, hopefully in the future, going to do a show with O'Shea Jackson. That would be pretty cool. And I'll keep you guys abreast of that. But you guys, always, the links are below if you want to consult, you want the tax lien course or the marijuana investment course. Definitely check it out. So have a great night, you guys. Thank you, Coach Keith. I appreciate all the people. Later.